How big is Siberia? Well, consider for instance Lake Baikal. It's one of those few places to offer statistics so stupendous as to be almost meaningless. The oldest and deepest lake in the world, it's a mile down before you reach some of the hundreds of species unique to its waters. It's bigger than all the American Great Lakes put together. Only in Siberia could its size feel appropriate. Do you know there's 20% of all the world's fresh water right under there? It's just the weirdest place. During the winter, the Great Lake becomes a road, even if the fact of that makes the mundane appear ridiculous. Every spring, when the ice starts to crack, they lose about half a dozen cars to the depths. Sergei remained impossibly calm. So if a 10-ton truck is okay, then these fellas have nothing to worry about. They live on an island, right in the middle of the lake. It's almost as though they were faced with a life of exile in Siberia and decided they might as well go the whole hog. Yelena, our guide from the mainland, came in search of an uncle who hadn't surfaced for 30 years. She found him too.
The
one problem we have on the island is with the electricity supply. Other than that, it's fine. They find a way to get the supplies through when they can. There's more stuff in the shops. It just depends how much money you have.
The closest town to Baikal is Irkutsk, where 2/3 live in slightly decadent remoteness. They're holding a Winter Games. Hardly an outsider here, just a chance to celebrate each other.
There's nowhere else like Siberia. It's got everything.
Siberia may be cold, but it's very beautiful.
Some of the early inhabitants here were former slaves escaping the Tsarist autocracy of Western Russia. These then are the descendants of Siberia's pioneers, whose exploration of the East mirrored the conquest of the American West. The Trans-Siberian Railway was built at the turn of the last century to make travel easier for explorers and peasants alike. And today our carriage is still awash with long-distance human traffic. A family dividing its time between Russia and China, 3 days from Beijing to Irkutsk. In the next compartment, some local businesswomen who've been buying Chinese clothes to sell to the Siberians. We got off the train at the southern tip of Lake Baikal and they were already waiting for us. This is smoked omul, a relative of the salmon, and it's the staple food and the staple income source for many. It's only 5 minutes until the train moves on. They need this trade to survive. The omul is dirt cheap. They have to sell fast. Siberia has always been synonymous with suffering, but these people have no one to complain to. They seem to feel no self-pity, and they refuse to submit to the harshness of the place. But they have each other, and of course, they have the Great Lake. Lawrence Lee, Sky News, Lake Baikal in eastern Siberia.